All right, let's go on a bit of an archaeological dig today. But we're not looking for ancient ruins. Nope. We're digging into the digital bedrock of AI to figure out what really makes a large language model tick.
So what even is a large language model, or LLM? At its core, it's a simulator. These things don't think like you and I do. Just think of them as incredibly sophisticated pattern matchers. After you train them on mountains and mountains of text, they just get really good at predicting the next word. In doing that, they end up simulating the language, the knowledge, and even the professional tasks found in all that data.
And that's the big question we're digging into, right? Because the answer tells you just about everything you need to know about both the incredible power and the hidden dangers of modern AI. What's in the data is going to determine what comes out of the model. It's that simple.
So let's start our dig at the very top, layer 1, the raw knowledge. This is kind of the ground floor that an LLM is built on. It's the what? The sum total of all the human information we've decided to feed into the system.
Now, take a look at this breakdown. What's really fascinating here is the distribution. The data is heavily skewed toward professional and technical subjects. You've got technology, politics, health, and business way out in front, and that's our first major clue. LLMs are primarily being trained on a world of specialized, expert information, not just, casual chatter.
And look at where all this stuff comes from. It's so diverse. It's not just a random scrape of the public web. We're talking academic papers from places like PubMed and Archive, millions of lines of code from GitHub, dense legal documents, technical Q&As from Stack Exchange, classic literature, even movie subtitles. The AI is learning from the full, kind of messy spectrum of our digital world.
Okay, let's dig a layer deeper and see how this all builds. We're going to move past the what and start looking for the who. See, every single piece of that text was written by a person, and these invisible authors, these ghosts in the data, they're the ones who really shape the AI's personality. Exactly. Who are these people? Well, we can't know their individual names, of course, but by analyzing the style, the jargon, the content of the text, we can actually build a pretty clear profile of the professional personas who created this digital world that the AI learns from. First up, you immediately find the clear signature of journalists and media professionals. I mean, think about it. Millions and millions of articles from reporters, editors, critics. They're the ones contributing a structured, fact-based narrative style, which teaches the AI how to document events and frame commentary. Next, our dig unearths this immense output from analysts and researchers. This is all your financial reports, scientific papers, academic journals. Their work just infuses the training data with all this detailed, evidence-based, and super specialized knowledge. This is what gives the AI its analytical backbone.
And yeah, connecting right back to that chart we saw earlier, it is absolutely no surprise that a huge persona group is software developers and engineers. All their contributions from sites like GitHub and Stack Exchange, code documentation, technical guides, forum arguments, that stuff makes up a massive portion of the training material.
Okay, let's dig even deeper now. This is where it gets really cool. These professionals didn't just leave their knowledge behind, they left behind their skills. The very process of how they do their jobs is embedded in the language they use. And this right here is the absolute key. By learning from a journalist's articles, an LLM doesn't just learn facts about the news, it learns the skill of critical thinking and how to summarize. By digesting millions of lines of code from GitHub, it doesn't just learn syntax, it learns the underlying patterns of problem solving. The text literally becomes a blueprint for talent.
And that's what lets the LLM simulate these really complex professional tasks. This is exactly why an AI can draft a business report or summarize a scientific paper. It's not inventing the process from scratch, it's just expertly mimicking the millions of examples of these professional workflows that it was trained on.
And now we reach the bedrock. This is the deepest and, honestly, the most influential layer. This is the cognitive DNA of the data. It's not just about what was written or who wrote it, but how they thought. All the hidden beliefs, frameworks, and biases that are just baked into the text.
So deep in this layer, you find these culturally specific ideas, these memes. A perfect example is the fail fast ethos from Silicon Valley. It's a recurring theme in all the tech and business data. And these aren't just empty phrases. They are entire philosophies that get woven directly into the AI's cognitive fabric.
So when you kind of zoom out and look at the big picture, the overall mindset reflected in the training data is just overwhelmingly professional. It really values practical, data-driven, structured, and outcome-focused ways of thinking. This is the personality that the AI inherits from all its creators.
And this is a huge but. Along with all those professional traits, we also find something else, our very human flaws. The data is absolutely riddled with patterns of cognitive bias. Probably the most common one is confirmation bias, the tendency to favor information that confirms what you already believe.
And it definitely doesn't stop there. The data also reflects things like anchoring bias, where we lean too heavily on the first piece of info we see, and the availability heuristic, where we overestimate how important things are just because we can recall them easily. So what this means is the AI isn't just learning facts, it's learning our flawed shortcuts for thinking, because that's what's literally in the data.
All right, so we've finished our dig. We've gone from the topics, to the people, to the skills, and all the way down to the biases. What does this all mean for us and for the future of this technology?
Well, it really all boils down to one central, really powerful, and maybe slightly uncomfortable conclusion about what these models actually are.
Here's the big takeaway. A large language model is not some alien intelligence that just appeared out of nowhere. It's a mirror. It's a statistical reflection of us, our knowledge, our skills, our professional habits, and our biases, all bundled together and amplified, warts and all.
And that leaves us with one last, kind of provocative thought to take away from all this. If AI is simply holding up a mirror to the digital world that we've all built, it forces us to take a long, hard look in that mirror. What do we like about what we see? And maybe more importantly, what do we need to change?